So, we're at the 2024 Wagga Scale Model Show. So welcome to our show, Saturday and Sunday. We're beginning again tomorrow. This is our 38th annual show. The club was formed in the 80s. So this is, whilst it's our 39th year, it's our 38th show because that thing happened a couple of years ago called COVID. So we weren't able to have a show.
That would stop everything, wouldn't it? I mean, you wouldn't be able to have the hall, you wouldn't be able to have people congregating.
We all lived through it, and we all know what happened. Luckily, here in Wagga, we weren't locked down as, say, Melbourne was or other capital cities. So we were a bit lucky, but still, it was impactful. And when the country, as you know, is still feeling the effects. But anyway, onto modelling and our show here. We're very pleased to have well over 300 entries, and for a small club, that is very, very gratifying indeed. We owe a great deal of gratitude to our supporters, our sponsors, and our participants, and our traders who have, in some cases, travelled quite considerable distance to set up, and I can't imagine the logistics of doing that. However, we're grateful for that, and
so this scale model shows like this once a year. This is the 39th iteration, you said?
38th annual show, and once a year in the last weekend of October, and that's the way it's been. We have it here in the probably the largest facility of its kind in Wagga, called the Kyeamba Smith Hall, in part of the Show Society, the Wagga Show Society. The hall has been updated and upgraded through the years. It is, I'm not quite sure when it was built, but it would be approaching 100 years ago.
What can you tell me about this over here? So it's the Scale Model Awards?
Well, yes, we have a range of categories ranging from, including aircraft, military items, cars of various description, and each category has a first, second, and third. The first and second get a certificate, and the winner of each category gets a trophy. And there's more over on this table over here. The model kits there are prizes that we give to junior members of the club, or junior members of who have put entries in. People, less than 16 years old. And there's more over on this table. And in addition to individual category prizes, there are overall prizes for the Best in Show, the People's Choice Award, voted on by the general public who come through the doors. And we have special what we call muster categories, and that changes each year. This year, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the introduction of the Ford Mustang, the 150th anniversary, I think, of the Kenworth truck, and the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings. So Normandy, Ford Mustangs, and Kenworth trucks are our main theme. And those theme prizes are separate to the individual category prizes.
Shall we have a quick look at maybe one of the tables?
Yeah, sure, by all means. Now
wander through.
Let's go over here to the car.
Okay. This one over here?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, that's all right.
What we have here are the various car categories. On this side of the table, we have cars that were built before 1950, and adjacent to that we have cars um, built between 1950 and 1969. And if you remember, I said there were a whole bunch of different prizes and categories of different awards for different categories. This is what I mean. Cars split up in the different time periods, and that kind of helps to even out the subject matter and the awards.
A lot of like the work just on these is absolutely gorgeous. And
Well,
certainly different skill levels for all different people. But
well, people who build cars, and I'm one of them. The the emphasis is on the finish. If you buy a car, a real car, obviously you don't want one with scratches and mismatched paint and so forth. So when you build a model of a car, you're looking for the same perfection in the finish and the shine and the glossiness of the paint and the evenness of the paint.
well, this is great. So, where exactly is this hall for people to come down and have a look?
Well, if you're in Wagga, you would know where the Show Society is. It's in Burke Street,
Okay.
corner of Burke and Urana Street, and you would come in the Burke Street entrance. The parking is available and that's free, and the Kyeamba Smith Hall is immediately near the drive-in front entrance.
Well, thank you very much, Graham, for the overview of the club event
Hmm.
this year. And keep in mind, you're here every year, but it's like what I've said. I've been here a few times now, and this event's always great. Um, but it's like what I've said at many different events, and that is, unless you're actually here and seeing these in person, it's very hard to get an appreciation for just how good some of these kits are, some of these models are, some of the work that people put into them. And of course, the organisers of the event go to great lengths to set this up and make sure that everything is presented in its best light. Yeah, it's just a pleasure being here. And thank you very much, Graham, for your time today.
That's quite okay.
And
If I can just finish by
thank you,
saying
sir.
that we have, I did mention earlier how we are grateful for the traders and the support that we get. In return for that, we as a club support a local organisations, and from this show we support the Kurrajong Hildesid Farm, which is a property on the outskirts of Wagga, which caters to very diverse members of the community. They have wonderful sensory gardens and green spaces and cafes and so forth where people can go and just relax. So we're very happy to be able to support them financially as a result of this
Well, that's lovely.
of this show.
It's good that there's some goodwill and there's some you know benefiting effects
Yeah.
for
We might.
people in need.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
might be
so
individuals who sit alone in our sheds and build model cars or boats or whatever, but as a group, we're very much part of the community and we're proud to be that.
fantastic. I think you introduced me to another gentleman. What was his name?
Let's see if we can find John. He's over there talking. He's over there.
I'll see.
So,
Yeah, let's go and hassle him and see if
yeah.
he's available for maybe a quick, I think, rundown of some of the work that he's done that's here.
Hmm.
And he's a well-known figure here, isn't he?
He's been a member of.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
G'day. How you going?
How are you?
How are you today?
I'm very good, John. Just
right.
so you'd hold that.
what have you got? Oh, hello.
It's fluffy mic.
Hey,
Thank
am
you,
I?
Graham. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. See you then. So yeah, this is live streamed right now. So
Yep.
there are millions of people. No, not millions of people, but there are people that have hopefully tuned in and can see the show.
Okay.
So I think this was just really from what we said before. I think you've got a few entries here.
Yes, I have,
and
Tristan. Yes,
be
I have
really
it come
good to see.
through. I'll
Yeah.
show you what I've got as
Okay.
well. And good day to everybody viewing as well.
Oh,
It's,
look at that. It is live. It is
sorry.
live.
Okay.
And,
As well. So,
yes.
yeah, I've been modelling for a good number of years now. Used to do it as a boy, and then give it away for a while. Then, I suppose in the last 20 odd years, I've been involved in modelling. I mainly model military soft skin vehicles, armoured personnel carriers, not tanks.
Yeah.
And I like to dabble in a bit of science fiction stuff as well. But today I've mainly got military on display in the competition. And the first one that I've got,
Oh, okay.
is this from World War II, the American 2.5 ton truck, and basically with in 172 scale. And basically with vehicles that I model, I like to add extra bits and pieces to it
Right.
as well to make it a little bit more realistic, like including putting in the driver figure as well.
So that's called scratch building, right? That's where you get parts that don't come pre-assembled, and
Yeah.
you basically build it yourself,
Yeah, that's right. Or get it from accessories as well.
which is also something that takes a lot of time and
Okay.
energy to do.
And as well as making the base to place the model on, which makes it easy, especially with the small subjects. Putting it on a base is easy to handle as well from there. But I'm finding it that unfortunately at the moment I have got low vision issues. So this particular scale of modelling that I've in 172, it's very difficult for me to do, even with magnification.
Yeah.
And I have to move away from this scale,
Yeah.
which goes to the next lot of models that I have, which will go to a 135 scale, which is further down there as well. So that sort
Okay.
of gives you an idea with a bit of weathering and bits and pieces on that.
Very nice, John. Very nice. Okay, let's
Okay.
move on to
And
the next one.
Yep, from the other ones that I've
How
got.
long did that take you, by the way?
Oh, that one would be, I can't remember how long,
Yeah.
but it takes time.
It does.
And I'm finding nowadays, because of the vision issues, it's much more frustrating and challenging, I suppose, to be able to build. And I'm finding that makes it there, and concentration levels as well. So the other models that I've got here is this Willys Jeep from World War II. But this Willys Jeep's actually got aftermarket items on it with the armoured windscreen, and the cargo carrier at the back, and add a lot of storage items as well, and bits and pieces to make it a bit more interesting and lifelike. And the figures, which adds life to it. The figures actually have hornet heads as opposed to what they come with, so they give it a bit more detail
Okay.
as well. And again, putting it on a base, much easier to handle, and also presents the model a little bit better.
Yeah,
I
it
suppose.
just gives that little bit of background feel to it. So it's not in isolation. It's
Yes,
you're
that's
sort
right.
of giving it
Yes,
that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
So
just a little bit of background there for people, and
okay, well
gives it that nice feel.
this is a Willys Jeep from World War II.
Yeah.
This particular Jeep here at the back, you've
Yeah.
actually got a cargo carrier which they modified. That cargo carrier is actually made out of photo etch material.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So brass photo etch,
Yeah.
and then you shape it, and then you glue it on to that.
Yeah, it's like a wire mesh on the back there, isn't it? Yeah, I can see that now.
Okay. The windscreen at the front is actually photo etch again. It's like an armoured shield that the Americans did in the field to protect themselves a little bit more. So that's mainly a half shield one, but I've seen pictures where they've been full shields and they put a 30 caliber machine gun. Okay, thank you. And then just go from there.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. So, and then the figures, the aftermarket hornet heads have got a lot more expression in the faces than the ones that actually came with the kit, the plastic moulded. So, because they're actually moulded out of resin. as well. So I find that very good. I like adding the extra detail to a model just to give it a bit more realism and life to it as well. From there, that's in again with the base. So a little bit of light weathering on that just to make it a lived-in look, with a little bit of dirt and things like that to make it a bit more lifelike. Excuse me.
How long have you been into modelling, John?
Excuse me a minute.
Yeah.
Um, I've been doing it for about 20 odd years now.
Wow. Okay.
I've been also collecting model kits for 20 odd years as well, so it's a big stash that I have.
So this is another one, is it?
This is another one. This is actually what's called an Avenger. It's a Humvee M998, the Americans made. And with the Humvee series, they've actually put different bits and pieces on the back tray. And this one here has got the Stinger missiles to shoot at aircraft in the sky. This particular model can also rotate there as well. I'll just pick it up. This one's not attached to the base. So,
Wow, nice.
and this one hasn't got much weathering on it at all, but gives you an idea. This is actually an Esky kit, which was moulded in Italy a long time ago. The brand Esky no longer was acquired by Italari. So Italari have released another version of this particular model, which has got a lot more detail on it as opposed to the original Esky one. So I've got a number of buckets, a number of Humvees in the stash that I've built, which are quite enjoyable kits to build or subjects to make that the American Army had used. Back there as well from there. Again, this particular base is just a rough base that I made up, and just sort of actually to distinguish it from the tabletop, basically, as well. So modelling,
nice.
I find, is in a relaxing way of doing things, even amongst the frustrations of the instructions and following things. But it's a good way to use your time constructively. That's the word I'm looking for as well. So
Do you have any military background yourself, John?
No, I don't.
No.
Don't have. My brother was in the Air Force.
Oh,
I don't. I have an interest in military and military history.
Yeah.
That's what led to this.
Yeah.
And I'm finding what subjects that I do, I'll actually tend to try and look up the history of that subject.
Yeah. To
to
get to that point with,
Yes, that's
with
correct,
those,
yeah.
that takes time.
Yep,
It
that's
does.
right.
Yeah.
But it adds to the interest, so Tristan, which I find very nice
Yeah.
and good. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, because of the eyesight, I'll have to try and go to a larger scale modelling now to make it easier for me as well. So, but I still got a lot of these 135 scale kits in my collection at home.
Yeah.
Some I'll never get around to building, but some I will, and go from there. Currently, I'm trying to downsize all my small 172 kits to give me some more room for the bigger ones as well.
Okay. Hey, look, John, fantastic. Thank you for showing me your kits that you've brought in. And yeah, it does take a lot of, I think, passion.
That's
I think
the
it's
word.
the word.
Yeah.
You know, to do this hobby, you know, a lot of people do spend a lot of, time and energy, and they come up with some amazing results.
It is.
And
not to
yours are
mention-
great.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It also depends to there is a bit of money involved in buying kits and accessories as well, and I tended to look for the second-hand market as well, which makes it much more interesting, the availability as well. But unfortunately, excuse me,
It's okay.
I'm finding that a lot of the newer kits that are coming out nowadays have got too many parts in them.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think would have put off some people to modelling as well. I noticed that one manufacturer's realised this and they're actually making it a range, which they're calling it a quick or not quick build, but a blitz build, which less parts count to make it easier to do. I think following the model of Mr. Tamiya from many years ago, having
So
a model kit, it's quite easy to put together and not too complex.
Yeah,
So,
I think that there are a lot of beginner kits out there, and well, I think there's now that technology has improved in the building of these kits from the manufacturers, we're getting kits that are very, very accurate. But even the junior kits are getting a lot better.
yep,
So the joy that can be got out of something that's simple to build,
yes,
but the accuracy is really high.
yep,
And yeah, it's sort of fun, and the end result is fun.
that's right.
So
Well, that's right. That's the good trade-off to do that. But when you find a kit that's got too many parts and too, like with the manufacturers, 5 pieces to make one sub-assembly where it could be molded in one piece.
yeah, true,
And,
so true.
go from there. But
John, hey,
that's all right.
thank you very much. And
Thank
look,
you, Tristan.
the thing I got to say is, it's great that you just spent your time showing, some of the work that you've done, and also that's what this show is about.
That's
Like
right.
we have modelers here, we have vendors here, we have people that come together,
That's right.
and a lot of people know each other. But the more people that are here, the better.
That's
And we really do, want people to experience and enjoy these in person.
That's right.
It's great to have a video, right? And to get some sort of idea of the mindset of people here. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you really need to come and see some of this. It's
That's right.
kids are
And
missing out these days. They
That's
are.
right. And with modelling as well, especially with our club from Wagga, it's just of all abilities and all types of models, basically, no matter, they're not necessarily really top show quality like I don't consider mine to be top show quality, but I do the enjoyment of participation.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about.
that's
So,
it.
at least to put something in and go from there.
We have a
See all-
community, and we're looking for people to come and enjoy what we enjoy.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Tristan.
yeah, good on you, mate.
Okay.
And I think I'm just going to wander around and just do a pass by some of the
Well,
benches
there's
here.
another model I've put in, but it's a little bit different.
Oh, okay. Oh, let's have a quick look at that.
So,
Yeah.
this is more, it's a kit I bought last year from Academy, but it's actually a snap together kit, and it's a different sort of a subject, and it's basically the steam locomotive there.
Oh,
So it's something different as well. In this particular kit by Academy, they make a number of kits where you can actually, it's got a movement in it where you can actually wind it up and it actually rolls along as well. So this steam
that's
locomotive,
beautiful, John.
it-
Yeah.
I've actually, it comes already painted up, but I've actually put more paint over it just to look, make it a bit more presentable.
Yeah, I think the manufacturers try with parts. They do try hard,
Yes,
but sometimes it misses the mark. And
that is, that's
it's
true.
it's usually a modeler with a better eye
Yeah.
for understanding
Yeah.
and a little bit more research too.
Yeah. Well, I've made another one of Academy, but it's too toy-like as opposed to model-like as well. But this one's more of a model-like from my perspective as well. So
How gorgeous is that? So, what year was this?
this is about late 1800s. This
1800s?
particular
Yeah.
steam. Apparently, it's one of the first steam locomotives made in America,
Oh wow!
and
Yeah.
to give an idea as well from there.
So everything was new for them back then. Everything was new.
Yeah.
All of this was new.
That's
Nobody
right.
ever done it before. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
As well. So,
pioneering.
as well. So, but anyway, it's good. It's a miscellaneous category where you can
People borrowing
all
off
this-
other new
put all-
designs.
yeah, that's right. And
It's like-
you can see there's a big display of miscellaneous items here, which is really good. Fantasy and sci-fi as well, in bits and pieces. So I like the storyboards that people have actually started with them. I've seen some of those on some Facebook pages as well. So that's an interesting way of presenting a model in a different way. So that's a pretty good idea as far
Yeah,
as I'm
that's a
concerned.
very interesting idea,
Yeah,
isn't it?
is. So different. It's easy. You can put it up on the wall. So it saves a lot of space,
Yeah.
and go from there. So see what happens. So, yeah.
Oh, look, there's Chris over there. I think I'm going to go say hello to Chris.
Okay.
Again, thank
Okay.
you, John.
Thank
It's
you, Tristan.
absolute pleasure, mate.
Good afternoon, all.
Okay,
Bye.
right. Oh, hello, Chris.
Hey Tristan, how are you?
Yeah, good. You're tall. I'm short. So for the viewers out there, they're sort of looking a little bit up. So I'm
That's
trying
all right.
not to.
That's all right. I'll make sure
yeah.
my nose is clean.
So you're from the ACT SMS like I am, aren't you, Chris?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
So for those who don't know, ACT SMS, it's Australian Capital Territory. It's in Canberra, and it's a Scale Model Society.
That's correct.
And we've actually, a group of us have come here of our own volition, and we do, quite often to come to Wagga, where they've got the Scale Model show, and there are a bunch of things here that look really good. Has anything caught your eye, Chris?
Oh, look, I mean, as you mentioned, there's always a group of us come down from the ACT. The Wagga guys are all excellent guys. They're a small club, but, they punch above their weight with what they put on. They always come to ACT, so we've always just sort of gone, hey, we'll support you guys. You see things down here you don't see quite often at other shows. They have a very big focus on cars and trucks, which is their thing. So you always see some great car stuff, not necessarily my thing, but I can appreciate the work that goes into it. Yeah, it's always good fun, and as I said, they're all lovely guys too.
So shall we just sort of, I don't know, do a quick wander around?
Yeah, certainly.
I haven't looked at all of these tables at all. I've only looked at a small portion of them. Shall we just look at these trucks?
Yeah, when you have a look at the trucks and that here, once again, something I literally know nothing about, except they always throw up dust when they pass me on the highway. But
There's one way of saying it.
That's one way of saying it. But yeah, the work the guys put in, you see the stuff. A lot of these things, when you look at like the mud guards and that, they're all spun aluminium. They put a lot of aftermarket parts on it, a lot of conversion work, and like anything with the hobby, I can always just appreciate, even if it's not my thing.
What is your thing, Chris? What's your general?
Look, armour is probably what I lean towards, but I've
yeah.
sort of reached a point in my modelling where if it's shiny, it interests me. So I'm building a lot of different things that I would normally not build, but there's just such a great time for the hobby. So many good models out now. You open a box and you just go, wow.
I was talking about that with John. We were like, technology has improved so much, and the kits now are beautifully accurate.
Yeah.
And all different like ranges for kids through to adults, and I mean we're all kids at heart, but I mean some of the models are just obscenely nice now, but not all kits are perfect,
no,
of course.
Well, definitely not. But I mean we're in a golden age of the hobby, and now with the 3D printing's now taking off. And you're seeing stuff now. Virtually.
Shall we look at the armor while we're talking?
Certainly. It sort of just reached the point where, pretty well whatever you want at one point in time is either going to come out on kits or come out as a 3D printed item. So it's a golden age for the hobby. So this is obviously the diorama area. Some nice stuff there. I got to admit, dioramas are not my thing. I sometimes start with the idea of diorama, but by the time I finish a model, I'm done, and I never get around to doing the rest of it. So, but I can always appreciate the effort, put in by people that actually do it.
People do spend an exorbitantly large amount of time on accuracy.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, the one that you're just looking at now, the Focke-Wulf DR one, that's, I believe, it looks like it's taking off the scene from when the Red Baron was shot down. And I think there's actually photos of when the soldiers came in and they were literally cutting the fabric off to get, the tail and, the national markings and that off it just as a souvenir because they knew who he was.
And that level of detail, most people wouldn't know.
Oh, I don't know about.
Yeah,
not sure.
You know what I mean? Like
obviously a misspent childhood.
But I think that's that's the fantastic thing. Like people here that all get together. It's a community,
It is.
and we all share knowledge, and people do research on things
Yeah.
that they love.
And I mean, the hobby's always a great thing from the point of view. There is so that you can approach it at whatever level you want to approach it at. You can be, you literally just build whatever you get. Whatever in the box, that's it. You build it. And then you can go right up to the people that do fully scratch building stuff, and it's always something you want to appreciate. And at the end of the day, as long as you enjoy it, it doesn't matter, what you do to it. If you enjoy it, if you like building it, and at the end of the day as well, you're building for yourself. As long as you're building for yourself.
Yeah, it starts off simple, and then the more that you do, the more you enjoy, and the more you enjoy, the more techniques you learn, and the more techniques you learn, the more that you want to perfect and get it right.
It's a slippery slope.
It is, isn't it? It just keeps going.
It's one of the things I enjoy with our club, with the ACT SMS, that we have the Sentinel Shield and the Kitty Hawk Cup, where you basically are forced to, you've got to build what's in the box.
Yeah.
You can change the markings and so forth, but there's no adding stuff on. So it just comes down to building, and you don't have to get down that rabbit hole of finding detail and references and is this correct and that's correct. You build what's there. So it's actually quite refreshing.
Yeah. Well, look, I think some of these I certainly wouldn't have the experience yet. I mean, if I really wanted to and wanted to get into learning about a lot of these kits and how they're built, it takes time, but it's part of the enjoyment of modelling. It's a lot of kids, they get into this and then they come back as adults.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was very similar. I started modelling probably when I was 7. First model was a Airfix Saturn V rocket. Still remember building that with my father when we lived in Singapore. I got into the hobby probably when I reached about 14, 15. I found other distractions. I won't name what they are, but and then probably in my late 20s, I got back into the hobby again, and I've been at it ever since. And it's brought me a lot of joy. I've met some wonderful people, made some great friends, and yeah, it's a good time.
Well, I got to say, Chris, it's a pleasure talking with you. You're always valued for money, mate. And I've seen some of the work that you do, and yeah, it's great work.
Thank you, Chris. Much
some
appreciated.
some of the results, and people enjoy seeing uh, the effort and the energy, because the end result is that good. And I've said it a couple of times, and I'll say it again. People are not here at the Wagga show, or they're not coming to these shows. We got one coming up very soon, Scale Act in Canberra, and
2 weeks time.
That's huge. A ton of entries, all sorts of presentations.
It's presentations, exactly. I mean, it's not just the show where you get to see wonderful models. You've got some renowned, like literally internationally recognised modelers that are going to be there doing presentations. And the club literally strive every year. They try and improve the show to make it enjoyable for everyone. So all I can say to anyone around, even if you're overseas, fly on over, guys. It's not far, but yeah, come down because you're going to love it.
Yeah, I mean, last year we had a massive event. It was a massive success. We had a huge crowd show up.
It was new venue.
Yeah, and over 1,000 entries.
Something it wasn't quite. I think it was just under 1,000.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
But still, it was a big turnout. But it was just the efforts of the committee, especially our president Peter Davis, to just bring the show up that next level. The new venue's awesome, and they're, as I mentioned before, they're always striving. They want to make it a better event. They're not happy to sit on their laurels. So there's new things on this year that are going to make it great.
So one of the points, and not to outshine Wagga Wagga, because the kits here and the work here, and some of them are just fantastic work. The whole point, I think, is it is about a community. It's about across Australia, people getting together and helping each other present some of this very fantastic dynamic hobby and having everyone support each other. And I think the ACT SMS is definitely on board with supporting this show and all the other shows.
Definitely.
It's a lot of goodwill, with community, a lot of background sponsored um, events, and for some of the charities and those sorts of things in the background that are supported.
Yep.
And that happens quite often.
Yeah.
And it's something that we want to inspire people to come and see these shows. So not just ours, but definitely Wagga Wagga. It's open right now,
Yep.
guys. Right,
Pop on down.
by.
The weather's beautiful.
It's
The people are
fantastic.
lovely.
Yeah.
Very good egg and bacon rolls.
Yeah.
So definitely come on down.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for your time, mate, and always a pleasure. And I think at this point, I'll just do a little bit of a wander around. I'll let
No
you
worries.
carry on to your own
Good talking to
devices.
you, Chris.
I'm just going to look at some of for the audience, look at some of the tables, and I think I'll call it.
Yeah, all right, mate.
All right.
See you guys. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks, Chris. So, yeah. So there are a lot of different uh, different categories. So these are 1 to 72 planes here, and beautiful work. And I think I'll take you to a larger scale so that you can see. This is 1 to 48. There are so many examples, and even on a relatively medium-sized show such as this one, some of the models are just outstanding. And so there you go. So Tristan from the ACT SMS. I'm looking at signing out. So I've finished, I think, with who we're going to present today. And I'm just sort of wondering around. We do have vendors as well. But there are all different tables, different kits, and that's it from me. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.